Good afternoon. Thanks for joining. So yeah, this scan is brought to you by FTX. If you don't already have an account, use the link in the description below and you'll receive 10% off all your trading fees, which is pretty good. Yeah, first things first, let's have a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin on the weekly. Yesterday's sell-off of about 7% has put Bitcoin, solidified Bitcoin's weekly downtrend. So we had this bearish candle, sort of not really in that cradle zone, but it was in that range. But yeah, yesterday's sell-off has pushed us right down to break the low. So yeah, we are still in a weekly downtrend. If we have a look at the 2-day, we are starting. So we saw that push up with a higher high, and we've begun pushing back down. If we have a look in the daily, it's pretty clear we've got this lower high and now a lower low. So yeah, again, a daily downtrend. So I'll be stalking shorts definitely. But what I'd want to see is if we scroll out a little bit, we've got this like support level through here around the $40,000 mark. We've tested a few times in the past. So unless we get a nice deep pullback on these mid time frames, especially the 4-hour, I won't be looking at shorting into that level. I want to see a nice daily close below that before looking at shorts. So we've got a bit of waiting to do on Bitcoin. Let's have a look at the 4. Hey Dan, hey Bobby, hey Donna, I hope you're all well. And Winston. Right, yeah, so 4-hour where there's no trend, right? So if we have a look at the 1, we did start to see some cyclicity come in. I did put a post in the community about this level through here that we were watching, hoping for a possible breakout setup, but we just didn't get that. It just plummeted through that. So what I'm waiting for is a pullback on the 4 and some cyclicity to come back in. So yeah, there's not much there on Bitcoin, unfortunately. ETH is much the same. We do have a level through there that I'm keeping an eye on. There's no trades there at the moment, but if we do get a push through and a pullback to that level, and there's some nice trends leading up to that, yeah, definitely I'll be looking at cradle trades to the short side. But for now, there isn't that much. Unfortunately, we can have a look at the 1 to see if there's any trend. Yeah, see, the trend was starting to form, but yeah, just something has caused this sudden sell-off. So it's the same across the board. We've done 2 market scans already today, and there isn't much out there after a big sell-off like that. Unless you catch that, then there's not much out there. We're just waiting for those pullbacks on these mid time frames. XRP is the same. We are pulling back. We're in that cradle zone right at the moment. The trend isn't the best leading up to that, and we do have this level through here. Let's have a look on the daily. Not the clearest level, but we've tested a few times, so it's definitely a level that I'll be keeping an eye on, and it might keep me out of some trades. ADA sitting right on this daily level. This, what is it, a dollar round number as well. So I won't be looking to short Cardano just yet, not unless we do get a push through and a nice sort of daily close below this level. But failing that, yeah, there's probably no trades on Cardano at the moment. There's no trend. It's just sort of crashed down and just testing this level. So yeah, the 4-hour really shows that, how we've rejected this level and the buyers have come back in around this $1 level. So yeah, nothing there on Cardano. Solana is the same. We saw this this high and then a higher low, and we've pushed up and we've created a new lower high. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a further push down, but again, we've got a level through here. Let's see how far that goes back. Okay, I can probably get rid of that level. It's not super strong. So yeah, let's just see if we can get some cyclicity on this 4-hour. Even the 1-hour we might have. Yeah, so we're starting to get this trend coming back. It needs to be back by the 2, which it is. You know what, I'll probably throw that in the list just because it is cycling better than some of the others. AVAX, still in a daily uptrend, right? So we've got this higher high, higher low, higher high. We're pulling back into the cradle zone. Let's have a look at the 4. The 4 is telling us nothing. The 12 isn't looking too bad, but the MACD just doesn't like it. So yeah, there isn't too much on AVAX, but it is one of the few that's still in a daily uptrend. Luna. Sideways. We do have a level through here on Luna that may be worth keeping an eye on, but yeah, again, we're just waiting for those pullbacks. It's the same across the board. So same for Doge, same for Dot. Dot's in an interesting position, but yeah, the 4 hours a mess. So I did have a little watch list from this morning's scan, but it's mainly focused around levels. So using this cradle strategy, we can use levels. The levels mainly back up our trades. It's not an essential factor, but it's, you know, it does help backing up our trades and tip the probability of the trade working out into our favor. So band perp, we're starting to look good on this daily to push up, but we've just had that huge sell-off yesterday. So we are testing this level. We've bounced off it. We've had a push high and we've just crashed onto it. So if we get a push lower and back to this level in the cradle zone, yep, I definitely want to know about it. BAT was, what do we got here? Daily. So we've got a lower low, a lower high, and we've broken the lower low. So we're in a daily downtrend on BAT. So the 4 hours not telling us much, but the 1 hour is, yeah, starting to cycle again. So these are the ones that I'll be keeping an eye on because they do have the best cyclicity, I'd say. Bitcoin Cash is the same, but we are sitting on this daily level. Well, not this daily level, sorry. It's a level that we found on the 4 hours. So test, test, test. We need a breakthrough and a pullback to that. Brazilian token's an interesting one. It's in a strong daily uptrend, right? A pullback on these higher time frames back into this cradle zone is something I'd want to know about, but the only thing that concerns me is when you look at these lower time frames, look at this chart structure, it's just horrible. That just means it's very thinly traded on FTX. So if you are going to trade that, I'd trade it with caution. One perp, another one level, we need a breakthrough and a pullback to that. Ray perp on the daily, so we've had a lower low, a lower high, and we're breaking that lower low, so we're in a daily downtrend. We're waiting for those pullbacks on the 4 and the 1. Yeah, we've got a series of lower lows and lower highs, but the 2 hour just doesn't match up. It's got a lot more work to do, but it is in the list. So Ren perp was the same. RSR as well, and I think Solana I just spoke about was, yeah, these lower time frames, the 1 hour. We're pulling back in that cradle zone, but let's have a look at the 2. You know, the 2's there. I'd want a few more factors to back up that trade. If you've done the courses, you know what I'm talking about. We've, you know, focused around levels and some fibs as well. So that's the list that I'm keeping an eye on. But my plan of attack for this afternoon and over the weekend is definitely waiting for those pullbacks on these mid time frames, and then if the trades do match the checklist requirements, then I'll be taking trades on these mid time frames, but I'll also be stalking these lowers as well, but only when we get a pullback for these mid time frames. So yeah, that's my plan of attack. Let me know yours in the comments if you have one. But yeah, I'm not sure what caused this recent sell-off. I'll have to look into the news to see what has happened. It's not often that Bitcoin drops, you know, 7 or 8% in one day. It's normally off the back of a major news item. So I'll look into that, and if you're in the community, I'll let you know what I find. But apart from that, no other questions. All right, thanks guys, thanks for joining, and I will chat to you soon.